What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Senpai, and today we are back. We are back in more ways than one. We are back to playing Vanguard. It's been a year since I've taught you guys how to play CFA, and today I'm going to teach you how to play Tabletop Simulator. After, not the very last video, but one of my previous videos I did, one of my friends sat me down and said, listen, you're not going to be Senpai and not know how to do these things. So he learned me some things. Learned me how to play Tabletop Simulator. So, again, thanks to you, Andres, and in part, GG, Mr. Rodgers. If it wasn't for GG, Mr. Rodgers, I probably would have been like, you know what, forget this, I'm not playing Vanguard again. But because we have Tabletop Simulator and CFA has not been updated just yet, not with anything official for CFA, we are going to show you guys how to do this. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys how to use some controls, how to add some things, how to take some things out, and just basic functions. Then at the end, we're going to put together a deck, and then we'll probably do a test play hand. So first things first, when the program, everything is going to have links below where I got everything from. But when you download it, everything's going to look like this, because you're going to be downloading a four-person table. Your area is right here. So this is the only area you're gonna have to worry about. Don't worry about here, there. Just this area. This is all you. All right, so I'm imagining if you're here, you're most likely gonna be playing D era. So this is what you're gonna wanna work on. So you're gonna click, drag, drop it, so that way, you know, do whatever. And then just move these guys out of the way. And again, you click, you hold until it lifts up like that. Because if it's just highlighted and you do it, it takes out the first thing that's in the bag. So we don't want to play all of premium. So there you go. And just put it back. You just, click until it stops being white. It turns gray on the outline. Then you just move it. And since this is all premium, you can literally just put the premium bag inside the premium bag. Because we're not gonna ever play premium. Okay. So second thing I want to show you, technically not the second, but one of the other things I want to show you, you're not forced into this. So scroll wheel helps you a lot. You can zoom in, zoom out with that. Now, if you take that same scroll wheel, press it in, then you drag your mouse, you can get to very certain parts of the board. And we're going to have ours just like this. Okay, so let's get started. If you want to hover over just to make sure you have the right thing, standard overdressed deer, just to confirm. So you have a couple ways of seeing what's inside. You can right click, go and search. It'll show you everything that's inside: promo cards, booster sets, and start deck. You have two ways of getting that, because you can see the start decks is the first thing there. You can either drag it out from here, or put it back in. Oh no. Put it back in. Then you can eat it out. Now, for time, we're just gonna go do this how we would normally do. And we're gonna pick one at random. We already made our Stoichea deck, so we don't want Keter, we don't want other girl. Yeah, let's go with Donji's deck. Okay, so from here, you're not going to do that. From here, you're just going to go ahead and drag, pull out, and it's going to load. You can move this over to the side somewhere. From here, I zoom in a little bit more, and I'll drag this over here, and right click and hit spread. Takes every single card, every one of card in the deck, and then whatever, you just go through here, you pull them apart, or you can hover over them if you want to, if you know the cards all by name. One thing I like doing is I like right clicking, cloning, so that way you can get as many as you want. See, I just left clicked, and it now has a card symbol over it. It says 2. That lets you know that there's 2 cards in there. That's pretty good. I like that. That's how I do it. And once you get the desired amount, you can even go beyond 4, because there are some cards like in premium mass production sailor for Aquaforce where you can have up to like 16 copies of them. But once you're done cloning, you right click, and then you're free to go do the exact same thing over and over and over again. One thing that I do find very helpful is when you're done and you just want all your grade 0s together, just go ahead, highlight them all so they all have that yellow border, press the G, and it groups them all together. You can tell because there's 6 cards in there now. But if you ever have trouble like figuring out what your controls are, you go ahead and click this menu button, click configuration. It'll give you everything, literally everything. But what you want to go look at is controls, and it'll tell you exactly what does what. Take a little moment if you need to. Just put the controls with me. Another thing that you want to do is for now, so then drag and drop. Don't know why I didn't grab that as well. One thing that's really important, no matter if you play Vanguard or Digimon, you want to click on your rotation degrees. You see the little power lifter dude? That's, I guess, how high you want to lift it, but this is rotation degrees. You always want to go 90 degrees. And the keybind for that is when you have a card highlighted or you're hovering over a deck is either Q or E, because those will rotate your cards. All right, so now let's say you've already got your deck, it's already started, and you're about to do a match. Starter, here he is. So you're gonna go ahead, search your deck. Oh, actually, let me do this the correct way. All right, so your deck is gonna be face down. Now you go, because this does actually make a difference. And then you're gonna drag him out. And yes, it's gonna look like this for you, but once you finish it and you confirm, it's gonna come like that. So beginning of the game, you start your ride deck. For spikes, I'm sorry. Dark states. Not too sure about what all you want to get except for violence, Bruce. Look, no, that's just a 2K vanilla. And when you hover over a card, it does show you the name. It shows you the effect. Definitely not that guy. That's a rearguard circle effect. Oh, that's there's not much. Anger Richard, yeah, okay. So you have to pick 4 cards for your ride deck. So 0, 1, 2, 3, because they all have to be different grades. And just for purposes of this, I'm just gonna pick this. I don't think there's any good card. And again, we're gonna use that grouping function. And then close out. Put all of our cards in our ride deck. Our deck in here. And while the deck's highlighted, you're going to press R. That shuffles the deck. Or you can right click, press shuffle. And then when you hover over something and it has a keybind function, you'll see what letter does that function. So again. But yeah. Anyway, starting out the game, you're going to get your starter. And it's going to be face down because all your cards are face down now. And what you're going to want to do is, just make sure you give your deck a good shuffle. I find about like 500 key presses does it. And then since you're going to start out with 5 cards, not on your number pad, but right over all your keys where your letters are, you're going to press the number 5. And it's going to draw you 5 cards automatically. Then you do your normal mulligan. because they should. Oh yeah, over triggered. No. And this part I'm actually having trouble on because I don't know if if I should be doing it this way. Yeah, and I'm just putting back 4, and you press F to flip them over. Easiest way I found to do this: just take your whole deck, drag, drop, and put it back in the deck area, and then draw 4 more. Okay, a little bit better. But because you have your ride deck, you kind of don't care. But now you have guard, and then start the game, and then you highlight or you hover over your deck, draw 1 for your turn, and then that's when you begin to do your ride deck stuff, and you can just discard a card just by clicking on, because we don't care about this, I don't think. When this unit is placed on rear guard circle, so I charge 1. Oh yeah, you do actually care about that card. That's a pretty good card. So you choose whatever else. So you can discard this and go get out whatever it is that you want from your ride deck. Even though Bad Steve is what you want from your ride deck, not Acrobat Presenter. Sorry, I've not touched Dark Stage. I haven't done anything with anything else except Magnolia. But yeah, you'll go ahead, you'll get your card, and you'll ride it from your ride deck. Now remember, these cards are all face down, so when you put it on your Vanguard, it's going to come down as face down. So you can do that as well to get it face up. And from there, it is, if you're going second, you would have drawn a card. But be mindful, when the card is on the Vanguard circle and it has a stack, you cannot look at its effects. So you have to go here and then highlight anything that you want to see in Soul. I've also heard there's another way to do it, so I'm going to see if that's true. Yep, you can hold Alt and it'll give you a zoomed in picture, but it won't give you the English words, not until we get these cards in English anyway. So anyway, so you'll hover over the card that you want whenever you want to do a drive check. So Q or E, and then what you're going to want to do, if you want to go back to what I was saying before about taking, clicking and dragging, because I still do it, you have to be quick. You'll get used to it eventually, but take the top card, F, and hit a draw trigger. And you got to do E, go ahead, resolve it, draw over here, press 1, draw a heal trigger. So now you're whatever. So yeah, that's the basics on how to play Tabletop Simulator. I will be streaming Vanguard now, because I have Tabletop Simulator. I didn't really like CFA. I just did it to tolerate it. But yes, you have to do more manual stuff with this, but it's a lot better in my opinion. So thank you guys all for watching. Whenever you are, wherever you are, stay safe. Take care of each other.